good etiquette and what is good manners and how to conduct himself. Because ultimately, the teacher of the Quran becomes the role model of that young boy. And the teacher of the Quran must realize that he's going to be a role model. Whatever good he does, the student is going to follow. Right? That's it. Students, um, I started to of, and then I ended up going to DTI, al-Turath al-Islami, or madrasa here in Asman. Most of you would know our school. We, Afzal and some of the other teachers are. They did 2 juz a night in different qira'at. It's a nice lengthy tarawih. Surprisingly, they end more or less the same time we do. My boys were with me. And they were excited. They said, we're going to meet our Shaykh. Look, man, we're going to greet our Shaykh because they've been out of madrasa for about a few days. But that's how a student of the Quran admires his teacher. He loves his teacher and he's going to follow his teacher. So the teacher needs to also hold that in mind, that he has the responsibility to see to the nurturing of his student. And he must also be very cautious that he's a role model to the student. Right? Now, so he said, well, we do also, he should teach the student to protect himself outwardly and inwardly. He needs to encourage the student to express himself properly and correctly. Right? The student doesn't know how to speak, teach him how to speak right. He needs to impress upon him sincerity and truthfulness, teach him to make good intentions. The teacher should impress upon the student how he should be, make muraqabah, have his heart present with Allah in all moments that pass by. The teacher should impress upon the student that by having his heart connected to Allah, doors of knowledge will open up for him. There's doors of knowledge that, again, we previously in this text, inwards, we spoke about Allah's systems of helping, the known systems, and then there are unknown systems, and there are hidden systems rather. Like that, there are hidden systems of knowledge also. Through your etiquette with your teacher, and your respect for your teacher, and your adab with your teacher, Allah will give you knowledge from where you know not. From where you know not. Our teacher, Manatoa Karan, he met with one of his most senior teachers in India, Mufti Sa'id Palampuri. And Mufti Sa'id told him that they shared a very good relationship. And he said, I know how many hours you spend reading books in your library. I know how you spend nights researching and making mutala. And then Mufti Sa'id told him, but I want you to know that you should wait for a day will come where a door of knowledge will open up for you from the heavens. And then you won't be so much in need of your library any longer. And he was referring to al-ilm al-ladunni. Ilm of Sayyidina Khidr, ilm al-ladunni, knowledge that comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So adab with the teacher, there's knowledge that will come to you from where you know not. Adab with the teacher, there will be barakah in his ilm, barakah in your hifz. You'll memorize well, you'll memorize better. You'll retain what you memorize better. The teacher teaches the student adab, and the student displays adab. I was at our madrasa the other day. Some of the TPR teachers also, yeah. Um, Said Ahmed Al-Kafi came to me, said, something is on my heart for a long time. I said, Ahmed just did the same thing that I was thinking about. He said that, the idea of kissing a teacher's hand is very important, right? Because it's a statement of respect and honor. When it comes to senior students, like the brothers, predominantly the brothers in the masjid, or young seniors, leave it at that. Then it's a different thing. You work on your preference. You feel you want to kiss someone's hand out of respect, you do. If you don't, you don't. You don't desire anyone to kiss your hand. And it's a It's a discussion with regards to young adults. With regards to young adults, it's a separate discussion. I'm not speaking about young adults. I'm not speaking about young adult students within a madrasa. They need to follow their heart, how they feel, and what is in your heart. However, said Ahmad was raising to me young students of 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old. Those students, they can't be memorizing the Quran by a teacher and a kissing them. Right? And it was something that on my heart for some time. And then he actually told me I never really came to it. Now Allah was putting it in my heart now, and hopefully it reaches many of our Hifz teachers and the parents of the students that are studying Hifz. If your teacher is teaching you the Quran, right, that's a very high station. The kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your son should be trained to kiss the teacher because it's one of the great ways in showing a teacher respect. And similar to the teacher, and this applies to everyone without exception, is kissing the father's hand. And for me, my heart finds it difficult to see somebody greet his father and not kiss his father's hand. I said, if you come, any student that at the end of our classes and program, and you're not kissing your father's hand, then how do you not kiss the hand of your father? So what happens when you kiss the hand of your father? You develop more love and respect for your father in ways that you can never imagine. Like really, you think you love and respect your father. Anyone here, imagine you love and respect your father. Start kissing your father's hand, and then observe your heart and observe the love, admiration, and respect and reverence that you have for your father. How it increases. Like in a short span of time, it increases. So the same, a young boy needs to admire and love and respect. He should want to do anything for his teacher. Right? The Sahaba Ridwanullah ta'ala alayhim ajma'een, they were so limited to what they were willing to do for Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There were Sahaba that carried his shoes. If he took off his shoes, someone would pick it. When he put on his shoes, someone places down his shoes. Some of them became known for the functions that they did in terms of serving Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The sons of Harun al-Rashid. Harun al-Rashid is a governor, right? A ruler, Islamic ruler. He has might, authority, power, money. His sons, they were studied by Al-Imam al-Kisai. Imam al-Kisai is the famous the Qari of one of the Qaris of the seven Qurra. And uh, they used to compete with each other who could pick up the teacher's shoes and put down the teacher's shoes. And who are they? They are the sons of the king. Competing when it comes to the teacher's shoes. Until Imam Kisai used to say to the one, you carry my one shoe and you carry my other shoe. So both of them have the honor of serving the teacher. Ajib. Al-Imam Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala. Imam Nawawi. Imam Subki. Imam Subki, I quoted Imam Subki previously. Who remembers when I quoted Imam Subki? He was a great Egyptian scholar and he was asked to serve as an qadi in Damascus. And he used to go bowing down, prostrating on the carpets of the Dar al-Hadith al-Ashrafiyya, saying that وفي دار الحديث لطيف معنى على بسط لها أطفو وآوي عسى أني أمسه بحر وجهي مكان المسه وقدم النوار. Perhaps I'm in touch with my forehead, the place with the feet of Imam Nawawi once to. Imam Subki, he's the Qadi. Right? The Qadi is one of the highest positions that a scholar can achieve. He's honored, he's respected. The Qadi earns the greatest salary. The biggest salary that a scholar can earn is that of a Qadi. And the reason for that is that the Qadi who needs to pass judgment when there's conflict between Muslims, he can't receive gifts. It's haram for a Qadi to receive a gift from someone in the community to be passed judgment. Right? And to give the quality, the judge, the characteristic and quality of independence, he does not need anyone. He needs to earn a high salary, so that he's not in need of anybody, so that he can pass forward fair judgment among. I'm sure some of you are thinking, how God Sheikh Muhammad fell under. No, that's a sad story. Either way, so he's a Qadi and he's riding honored and entourage. As he's riding in the streets of Damascus, he sees like a very old man, like a pauper on the road. What the question was. And Yasuk is riding and he hears this old. So what does that mean? He said, I asked him, Imam Nawawi. And he's a student of Imam Nawawi. Rahimahullah ta'ala, he hears this person saying, and he by Allah, I will not while they guy that saw Imam Nawawi. And they ride my horse and I that's honor why as Imam Nawawi. It's a student of Imam Nawawi. رأت الإمام النووي عظيم في الإسلام. But we in our communities we are losing that honor, respect, ta'zeem that one should be offering it. And in places where the respect of teachers are returning and students are attaching themselves to teachers, they are being criticized. Why are you going to just that's just another what do they say now? They say that you're hanging on his toe. How do they say that? But everyone said no, yeah. So, criticized because he's attaching himself to teacher, a scholar of deen. If our young children and even seniors in this regard don't attach themselves to the ulama, who must they attach themselves to? Who must they attach themselves to? I see a young man crazy about his teacher. I must say, Alhamdulillah. Ya Rab. He then spoke about the ruling of teaching. And he said that teaching is a fard kifaya. Unless there's only one person is able to teach, and it becomes fard ain. Fard kifaya means it's a communal obligation. But if he's the only person that can teach, then it becomes a specific obligation upon him to teach. If there's a group of teachers in a community and they are not all of them don't teach, they are all considered to be sinful. No. And then he spoke about the teacher being desirous to teach his students, giving preference to teaching them over his own worldly affairs. He put his teachers before everything. Allah. And he should free his heart from everything when he sits down and teaches his students. His heart shouldn't be occupied with anything else. He should be present with his mind and soul and heart to teach the student that is now reciting Quran to him, or the student that is studying with him. No. So the student can't be teaching Quran and his heart is on island crowd. Must he focus on his student? Allahu Akbar. He must be eager to make sure that the student understands what he's conveying. What happens at universities these days, the professor walks in, he delivers a lecture, and he goes. In Islam, there's no such thing as I delivered my class and I can go. I've done no. In Islam, I must ensure that the person that is studying with me understands what I'm conveying. From the Islamic principles of teaching is that every individual student should be given the space to develop according to his ability. Someone that can learn more shouldn't be held back because of someone else. No. Someone that's learning slow shouldn't be burdened with an amount of work that it cannot be. The teacher needs to ensure that every student is able to reach excellence within their own capacities. The teacher needs to show the student that has done well that he has done well. So he praises him within reason. Like the praise shouldn't be excessive. But in a reason, the student teacher should show the student that he has done well when he has done well. One of the problems I've observed in some institutions was that certain students they get praised too much. A student cannot be praised too much. When you praise a student too much, then what are you doing? The Prophet ﷺ, he saw one person praying another person. The Prophet said, you severed his head, you cut off his head. قَطَعْتَ أُنُقَهُ. Because if somebody takes the praises and I start thinking, MashaAllah, look how great am I, and look at me, I develop arrogance and kibr. Right? So praise that is moderate, but the student should be told, well done, you did a good job. Right? No. Like my daughter Fatima, I have twins, Muhammad and Fatima, they're the same age. Even Muhammad does something, Fatima tells him, good job, Muhammad. So the teacher should show him when he has done good. ما لم يخشى عليه فتنة بإعجاب غيره, but he shouldn't let the praise reach a point where the student start evaluating any type of kibr. Now, a student can't be jealous of his student. A teacher can't be jealous of his student. Some teachers, they don't want the student to excel because once a student excels them, then they become, or their role almost becomes futile. So the teacher wants to keep the student a few notches beneath him. You can't become better than me. That's a type of jealousy. And it's the worst type of jealousy. Jealous for your student. Everything that student achieves, you should feel that you're part of it. And he's excelling, you are part of it. But to hold the student back because you want to keep him, that's the worst form of jealousy. You must desire good for your students. As how you desire good for your own children. As how you desire good for your own children. You have, we have a Sunday morning after Fajr, I have a class. We're reading the Tarh al-Tathrib of Shaykh Abdurragman, who was a master muhaddith. His book Tarh al-Tathrib is filled with fawaid. That Sunday dars that we have over here is one of the most beneficial classes that we have here at the moment. The only problem with the dars is not very regular. May Allah make us more regular. His son was also a great scholar. His son's name was Ahmad bin Abdurrahim al-Iraqi. Two sons, Al-Hafiz. When you read in generally, you someone that read Islamic literature, you must come across Iraqi. You will say Hafiz Iraqi. They generally refer to the father, Abdurrahim al-Iraqi, but his son was just as great as him, called Ahmad. The teacher's attitude should be like Hafiz Abdul Rahim to his son Hafiz Ahmad al-Iraqi. They came to the father, some people, and they wanted to almost criticize the father or make him feel bad. So they said, we attended the classes of your son, and his classes is better than yours. We attended your son's classes, and his classes are better. So his father immediately compiled poetry. He said, دروس أحمد خير من دروس أبي. The classes of Ahmad referring to his son is better than the classes of his father. And then he said, وَذَاكَ عِنْدَ أَبِيهِ مُنْتَهَى الرَّبِيعِ. That by his father is his ultimate desire for his son to be better than him. So how can you come and intend to criticize me if my son is better. That عند أبي منتهى عربي. My great, but the pinnacle of my desire is for my son to be better than me. That's how every father feels. You want your child to be better than what you are. The teacher of a student should feel the same towards every student. How can my student be better than me? Not how can I hold him back, but how can I be better than him? So these are some of the lessons that Imam Nawawi shared with us today. And they are very important. And all of us, we are teachers in different ways. So these are advice, but especially the teachers of the Quran, especially teachers of the Quran. We're going to read the Friday Salawat. I don't know if Shaykh Shafi is sitting that side. I don't know who's going to read it. Some angel or something. But whoever's going to read, Sang is also there, Mujahid, whoever come forward to read the Salawat to us. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us that whoever prays Salat on a Friday and then he recites 80 Salawat, in the proof of اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. Every time on a Friday of the Asr, Allah forgives him for 80 years of it. And the Prophet said, and Allah rewards him for 80 years of good deeds. Our practice on Friday, before the sun sets on a Friday, throughout the year, alhamdulillah, is we recite a few formulas of salawat, the Durud Tajiyya or Shaykh al Indian community. Durud Taj, they call it. Taj, the Sahabi Muhammad's great grandfather, or seventh generation grandfather, Durud Tajiyya, and thereafter we read the 80 salawat. Told us to recite. And if you're not able to recite the first portion with us, when we come to the 80 salawat, we repeat it over and over. And it's a beautiful ability to memorize that formula. محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. And try to make this your practice every day, inshallah. And that will only take us about how long, Shafi? Not only 20 minutes, only, but maybe less. But there's opportunity to spend 40 minutes of this blessed day, the best day over which the sun rises, including this day, sending salawat ala Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's no better way to end this day. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليه وسلموا تسليما لبيك اللهم لبيك اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد وعلى إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ترحم على محمد وعلى آل محمد إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم ترحم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما تحننت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وسلم على محمد وعلى آل محمد وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد في كل لحظة أبدا عدد خلقه ونفسك بنت عرشك ميزان كلماته اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وكرم بقدر عظمة ذاتك العليا صلى الله عليه في كل وقت وحين أبدا عدد ما علمت وزنة ما علمت ما علمت صلى الله عليه على سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا صاحب التاج والمعراج والبرج دافع البلاء والوباء والمرض والألم. جسمه مطهر معطر اسمه مكتوب مرفوع موضوع على الوحي والقلم. صلى الله عليه شمس الضحى بدر الدجى نور الهدى مصباح الظلام القاسم سيد الكونين وشفيع الثقلين. صلى الله عليه أبي القاسم سيدنا محمد سيد العرب والعجم. صلى الله على النبي الحرم محبوب الرب المشرقين والمغربين. صلى الله عليه يا أيها المشتاقون لجناته صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم رسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما على سيدنا عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما على سيدنا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه تسليما وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ورسولك وعلى آله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد ورسولك النبي محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه رسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما سيدنا محمد ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد